Oh, yes. I would say from what I've heard, he had one of the worst off seasons that these teams have ever seen from a quarterback prospect. And that
Whoa.
Oh, yes. I would say from what I've heard, he had one of the worst off seasons that these teams have ever seen from a quarter.
What you got to say about that, niggas? What you got to say about that, niggas? Where all the niggas at? He had one of the worst off seasons. Yo, they say he had one of the worst off seasons ever. He didn't go to the combine. He didn't go to the East-West game. He just sat back and acted like he was just waiting to get drafted number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Refusing to meet with teams. I'm only meeting with a couple of teams. Negro, do you understand? You should have met with every goddamn team. You should have worked out with every goddamn team, nigga. Are you crazy?
Oh, yes. I would say from what I've heard, he had one of the worst off seasons that these teams have ever seen from a quarterback prospect. And that could be from a first rounder to a 7th rounder because they're all, they all act, you are a product of your class. Right. So if I'm a good looking girl and I walk into a bar and there are 10 supermodels, I'm not going to be viewed as highly as if I walk into a room with a bunch of ugly people. And in this class, it was a bunch of high level cats. Cam Ward, I know people with the Titans, they loved him. Drew Brees said this a long time ago. Playing quarterback is like 70-30, intangible, off the field, upstairs, 30 my physical qualities. Peyton Manning couldn't beat me or you in a race. He didn't have a big arm. Tom Brady said, I couldn't play any other position in high school football beside quarterback. So this class from Jalen Milroe, people love the guy. Dylan Gabriel, he had to be one of the favorites when it came to the coaching staffs. Obviously, the Will Howards, the Riley Leonards. These guys are the most impressive people of the entire draft when these coaches and these GMs are meeting with them. They leave the room and these coaches go, God, I wish Riley Leonard and Will Howard were better players.
So basically, all the other prospects were going around wowing all the coaches, meeting with all the coaches, leaving the meetings with the coaches like, oh, man, this is a dynamite young man. This guy's a dynamite young man. And Shedeur was being arrogant and cocky and not meeting with people. And we ain't meeting with this team. We not meeting with this team. And then when he did meet with the team, he was being cocky and arrogant. Listen, the cocky and arrogant stuff is cool when you're on the field. When you're on the field. That's cool. But when you're meeting with the teams, the cocky and arrogant shit, that's not when you do it. You be a nice young man. And make them say, damn, I wish my daughter would meet. Listen, you got to go in there and make the coaches be like, yo, I would let my daughter date this motherfucker. And that's not being buck broken. Niggas talk about like that, you like being a nice young man on a job interview. These niggas online is calling that getting buck broken and tap dancing at a fucking job interview for a job where they're gonna pay you $50 million. Well, not anymore. He ain't getting paid that no more. He would have got paid that if he'd have drafted high, but he gonna make like couple million a year. But if he would have got drafted where he wanted to get drafted, he'd be making $40-50 million a year. And they talking about this nigga, he too confident. Are you serious? He too confident. They hate a confident.
They get drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. Most people think, he's probably not going to be in the NFL long, but we love the guy. And Shedeur's off the field is not bad. Never been in trouble or anything. But when you act, there are only so many teams, right? It's a supply-demand thing. Well, 6 teams last year drafted quarterbacks in the top 6. They're immediately out. There are several quarterbacks on rookie contracts. They're not going to be in the mix. And then the veteran teams, Andy Reid, the Bills, the Ravens, they're just consumed with trying to win the Super Bowl right now. So it's a small group, right? So the small group, those were the people he met with and clearly turned them off. And McShay's been coming out with this report. What happened with the Giants of like, I don't need you, that never happens. And I think it's become popular because if you look at these comments online, it's like, go against the establishment, go against the man. It's like, guys, this is a business that if you're decent, you will make $40 million a year. Find me another industry that pays that level. And if you're like Cam Ward, who was viewed as a 5th round pick, comes back, does all the right things, plays well, people love the guy. He's a 1st round pick. He's going to get $40 million guaranteed. So if he stinks, if he's terrible, Trey Lance, a good example. People love the guy, couldn't play. But he made $40 million, so to carry yourself, listen, we all look up to our parents, right? Or whoever raises us. And he looks up to his dad. Yeah. His dad is one of the greatest players of all time. And his dad can act however he wants, just like great players can always act however they want, because in a business like pro sports, there's only so many of them. His son was not that. And I think that really.
Exactly. His dad was one of the best players in baseball and football. If his dad would have just played baseball, he would have been one of the greatest baseball players of all time. If he had just focused on baseball, because baseball you have to focus on, because hitting and stuff like that. If Deion Sanders would have focused on baseball, he would have been one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Shedeur is not that type of athlete where he can even play one sport that well. He plays one sport pretty well. His dad played 2 sports at a high level. Your dad can talk shit. Your dad can be cocky. And then here's the thing. They've talked to so many Deion Sanders teammates and so many coaches. And they all said he was the greatest teammate. He was the most supportive teammate. He was humble. He was nothing like you saw him in the commercials. He wasn't a distraction. He was all about team. So Deion wasn't even like how they're trying to act like he's like. A lot of these niggas on YouTube and Twitter that's talking, they don't even know. Deion wasn't even like how his commercials work. He's very humble behind closed doors.
Really turn people off. The other thing that really bothers me is this narrative of like, this is the NFL pushing back against NIL. It's like, guys, Cam Ward just made like $3 million playing at Miami. The NFL, every GM's a millionaire. Every assistant coach now is probably a millionaire. And obviously the head coaches are all making 10 to 50. They don't care at all. Travis Hunter, I Googled his NIL deal. I mean, it was reported between $4 and $5 million. It's about being a good person. I mean, all these kids in college, the entire first and second round, they were driving Range Rovers and G-Wagons last year in college. It's not about the money or the NIL. It's just like, one, there were a lot of red flags guys that were drafted well above Shedeur Sanders. Those guys were viewed as good players. Yeah. Now, I think Shedeur's a solid prospect, but what I've heard about the way he's acting, like he would be an immediate turnoff to any human being, right? In any industry. That's not how young people act. And I think they tried to change their tactics from what I've heard the last month, but it was too late. It's hard to pivot. And again, you're just compared, like they view you in a group, Jalen Milroe and Dylan Gabriel. And so that.
Let me show you this. Let me show you guys this, man. Let me show you guys this. This is the only place you're going to get this, man. These niggas don't even know what the fuck they talking about. These niggas online talking about this shit, they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? All this Deion is the confident. They hate Deion because he's so confident. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Rookie season?
It was my third year in the big leagues. He was there. And Griffey had just come over too, so it was kind of crazy having Griffey and Deion in the same clubhouse. But it's so funny. You know, Prime. I mean, everyone always, asks, hey, who are some of your favorite teammates? And every time I tell people, Deion Sanders, one of my favorite teammates ever, like one of the quietest guys in the clubhouse too, until the cameras come on, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And was just so nice to everyone in that place, all the clubbies, everybody. So,
But people think he's not a great
teammates. And every time I tell people, Deion Sanders, one of my favorite teammates ever, like one of the quietest guys in the clubhouse too, until the cameras come on.